Wrestling fans, welcome back to night two of Fabulous Wrestling Talk, WWE WrestleMania. This is our review. I am Jeremy York. This is my amazing tag partner, Daniel Snyder.
Heel
Out of the
tag.
gate, exactly. Heel tag. It's we do whatever we want. Uh, Out of the gate, night number two. Oh, first off, I want to implore people to go see night one of our recap if you haven't seen it. Also, plug your accounts real quick. We forgot to do that.
Oh, that's all good. Daniel Snyder, 8361. That's all one word, DanielSnyder, 8361. That's me on YouTube. Watch for me every single day, from 10-ish all the way until 1:30 to 2-ish. I'm streaming MLB The Show live, and then almost every night, me and my buddies, this is rated R gameplay on Call of Duty. If you watch us, you know. We're crazy. It's probably going to happen tonight, which means you're probably putting this on tomorrow. So there's a chance it'll be tomorrow as well. Always look for us. If you like and subscribe my channel, you will get notified every time I go live. That's me.
And as somebody who has liked and subscribed to it, I absolutely get those notifications. So,
All right. And you know
and
what?
then
Billy comments
yeah,
almost every day when I'm on there playing MLB The Show during the day. So Billy watches me play the baseball game, and we bumped heads a little bit one day talking baseball. That's a whole nother factor on while I was
well, see,
playing.
that's a good thing. He has got mentioned on both of these shows, and yet he will see neither one of them. So,
Love that.
and that is the truth, and he knows it. But let's get right out of the gate because one of my favorite moments of the entire weekend. I was such a fan of both opening matches. The one before we talked about the women's match because it was so great. I was a fan of night two, Seth Rollins defending his Raw title against Drew McIntyre because one, this was the match that I was hoping we would get, and it led to the aftermath, and we will get to that in a second. But first off, overall thoughts of Seth versus Drew.
It was a lopsided match. Drew McIntyre beat him up the whole match. They wanted to stress that Seth was hurt. I'm thinking the
Which he is.
complete opposite of night one, in the manner of this match would not have been the main event had not Cody and them. This match, the
Well, but
only reason this match was the
yeah,
opening match is because of what happened at the end.
yeah. Once again, you had to free up somebody's schedule so they could come back.
Yes, yes. So I wasn't too wooed. I feel like we called what happened was going to happen. We said that Drew McIntyre was going to beat him, and the biggest part that made me mad was Seth is sitting outside, and you see the camera on him, and Seth's all mouths, "You deserve it." I'm like, come on, dude, come on.
He might as well have been Brutus, and Drew McIntyre was Caesar, going, "It's coming, buddy. You should turn around."
Yeah, because that's when, and also let's be honest. If you're watching, why is CM Punk down here part of this match?
That's as soon as because I didn't even realize he was down there. I wasn't paying much attention to the commentary early on. About 5 minutes into the match, I'm
You
like,
hear him?
"Who they got down there? Somebody else is down there running his mouth." And then I heard him say something, and I was like, "Oh, no way." I said, "You just told me the rest of this match now because
Yes.
there's only one." Regardless, I still was pretty sure Drew was going to win. But even if Seth would have won, I still knew what was coming now, and I couldn't wait. In fact, as I said, the guy that we're going to mention that actually helped make this moment even better when he come out slightly later, his good buddy slash his neighbor that I know from the Lucha show, I sent him a message and I said, "I know you probably jumped off your couch when that happened." He said, "I actually did." He was that excited for his buddy. But as we said, Drew gets his moment. He gets his WrestleMania moment. He wins the world title in front of all those people. It's not COVID. He wasn't there in front of three camera guys and somebody's girlfriend. He actually got tens of thousands of people that looked and went, you earned that one, buddy. And I'm glad they gave you your moment. And then in typical, even though he wasn't there, in typical Vinnie Mac style, let's pull the rug right out from under him. And he goes and he kisses. I love that. I think it was Pat McAfee who said, "Oh, and he's making out with this lady and this random gentleman. He's high fiving him." And then, like, I think it's CM Punk or somebody, or maybe it was CM Punk said that. And Patty Mac goes, "I think that's his wife." That was Mrs.
I love
McIntyre that
Patty Mac.
he kissed. But they were going back and forth, and then he started mouthing with Punk, and Punk's like, "There's no reason for this." And then he actually pulls the Punk move. He gets in front of him and he's showing him, "You'll never get this, Punk. You'll never do this." And I was like, "Oh man, he's this. How's this going to happen?" So he stands
Yeah.
up, and as soon as he turns around, as soon as McIntyre turns around, still standing on the desk, Punk seriously looks at Michael Cole and he goes, "You guys knew I was going to do this, right?" Whoop, bang, knocks him down, knocks him out
Took
with his
his
little
arm
brace,
brace
which
off. Yeah.
and as soon as he knocked him down, we hear the music hit. And here comes Damian Priest, who comes by, smashes him with the briefcase, and then runs back to the referee and says, "Right now." One more choke slam. I forgot what he calls that. Whatever he calls
Yo,
that.
that choke slam on Drew McIntyre was legit.
I mean, he
I
picked
was
him up
actually
as high as
watching this.
Undertaker does. I mean, he was
Yes,
up here.
he was up there, and Drew McIntyre is not a little guy.
No, Drew
I was watching it
McIntyre's
with a buddy of
like
mine.
6'6",
He's
six
six
seven,
six, six seven.
like
Yeah, yeah.
280, 300.
He's a
Yeah.
big cat. And when he picked him up, I said, "Done." Um,
I think
and I
Drew helped him
wanted
a
to
little.
say, yeah, obviously, yeah, yeah. They all help each other out. I wanted to say it on night one's video, but it would have cut into night two. So I'll say it now. It was obvious that Damian and Finn were losing the titles because this had to happen. Once
Yep.
again, this is another Gunther issue. You
You
can't
have to
have
clear
him.
the deck.
Yes, so that's what happened there. It was time for that. Um, I'm interested to see how this Damian Priest being the champion goes. I think he deserves it. I think he's going to be a great champion. I don't know how long. I don't know if if Gunther and Damian are going to cross paths somehow, but in order for that, one of them's got to turn face, and I think Damian's the better one to turn
Damian.
face. Um,
Damian and Rhea, I think, are going to be faces very soon if they're not already.
yes, yes, yes. My question as I was mentally watching all this is that I asked myself is how does this play out if Punk doesn't get hurt and it ended up being Punk versus Rollins, which it was supposed to be, correct?
Hmm.
So who does Damian Priest turn in his Money in the Bank on if Punk never
So
gets hurt? You think Seth beats CM Punk
because
and
somehow Seth was going to pull off a miracle win, I think, on CM Punk because it just makes the most sense. I would love Punk to have another title run. I'll be honest, I'm a big Punk guy. Mostly, I don't agree with everything he does, but I feel like Punk would come up slightly short. He would pull what he did on Drew. He would lay Seth out, and then possibly laugh the whole time like Seth did to Drew when Damian come down there. Either that, or they'd make
yeah.
it a three-way, or they would have made it a trios match. They'd do something.
And I'm glad to see now you're seeing the baton being passed. You've got two new guys. Well, I mean they're not new, but new baton runners
Fresh
carrying.
faces at the top.
Yes, which is good. Which I think is good. Um, which one of the champions is over SmackDown?
Cody.
Cody is.
And spoiler alert for the end of the show, but Cody is the SmackDown champion. Yes.
Okay. Ah, fuck, you're right. Oh, my bad. I mean, oh yeah, you're right. Because I forget. You know what? If you didn't watch WrestleMania and you're watching us, why are you watching us before watching WrestleMania? This is the recap.
I mean, don't
Um,
feel like you have to. If you want to just watch us and not watch wrestling, we're fine with that. We'll catch
by
you up.
all means, yes, yes. Um, because I did find out from reading that Braun Breaker's now on SmackDown.
Yeah, yeah, he signed technically signed with them a couple months ago, but
So
he's a NXT tag team champion right now
no, he's not.
no, wait, no, he's not actually. That's right.
They dropped the titles. Yeah, they dropped the titles, and he said his
So
goodbye
you,
to
you
the
might be
NXT
seeing him
people.
sooner rather than later, but to me, I don't think he's ready. And I love that kid. I covered him when he played at Kennesaw State. Super, super kid. But I don't think he's ready for the top, and he's gonna get swallowed up if they don't do it right.
So who's the which title is in SmackDown, IC or United States?
I think it's the US now. It was the IC for a while when it was Gunther, because Gunther was SmackDown, but then he started kind of ping pong and then kind of going back and forth.
Does Sami Zayn put the title on Braun?
This is
No, no,
another
no.
personal thing. I hope
The United States champion is Logan Paul. Does Braun put the title on Logan Paul? I mean, does Logan Paul put the title on Braun?
not. With the same answer. I hope not. Hey, it's not the personal Braun. Like I said, I don't think he's at that moment yet. He needs to get his feet wet on SmackDown and see what people do, if they like him or if they hate him, and then push him one way or the other.
Okay, okay. I'm a big Braun fan. Big Braun. I'm ready for him to get in the limelight. I'm just trying to look at matches
Oh, yeah.
and heels
Like I
and
said,
faces.
super
But
kid.
good. It was a good ending to the first match with Damian Priest walking away. He saved that match. It would have been a great ender if there wasn't a Roman and Rock versus Cody and Seth. This match would have been perfect to end night one with Damian Priest turning into championship, the Money in the Bank.
Sure. I would give you
Okay.
that. And we're going to breeze through the next couple. Well, there's one we might stop on for a particular reason, but next one up was Io Sky defending her belt against Bailey. We knew miles away. I said this was the surest bet of the entire night. Io Sky did okay, but I was texting two friends at the time and in different chats, and neither one of them, they said, is EO always this random? And I said, yeah, her game is very random. That's why the crowd didn't know how to react. That's what she lacks to me, is there's no continuity in the things she does. And it's just the way they're booking these matches. But Bailey drug her through this match and made sure that her moment was as glorious as it could be. So congratulations, Bailey.
Yeah, good match, Bailey. It was a boring match to me.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey outmassed, outclassed, out everything. It wasn't even the winner of this match was as guaranteed as the winner of night one's pay-per-view. I mean, night one's main event.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Bailey was winning.
There was those two, and then there was another match coming up that we'll talk about. And those were the three surest bets. And we said that on the preview, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
let's move on to the next one. Your guy, L.A. Knight, taking on AJ
Yeah.
Styles in what was uh, it was a decent match. This was one to me that just, I don't know who put this one together. It was not L.A. Knight and it was not AJ Styles. Somebody put this match together, and I don't think they've ever put a match together in their life. It was just real choppy. It was good because they're so good, but it was hard to follow this match. At least it was to me.
I see what you're saying, but I think what they did, or what they were attempting to do, was to make LA Knight look really strong. And because
Yeah,
he
and
pretty
they
much,
did that.
yes, they because he beat AJ Styles up the entire match. Um,
Now, don't watch
so
SmackDown right now. He's not having a good go of it, but
I'll watch it later. But I'm a big LA Knight fan. I think I told you in the preview to the WrestleMania that they dropped the ball with him. And
Mhm.
I think he needs to go to Raw. He needs to go to Raw, and he needs to be the one that challenges Damian Priest. There is a switch up happening here soon. That there's a draft. There's usually a
Yep,
draft, and
it's coming.
let, let's let this is one of two things: either move Cody and Damian, have them switch. Cody runs Raw, Damian runs SmackDown, or move LA
Okay.
Knight and LA Knight and somebody, and I just because Gunther, once again, it just depends on what you got going on because everybody knows Gunther's going to get the title. Um, I just feel like they dropped the ball with LA. He's and I think they're just mad because he got himself big on his own. But it
Yeah.
was a decent match. It was a decent match. They made him look strong. I liked him. Glad he won. Two great performers that did they had a C+B- match.
Yeah. Like I said, it's because they were so good at what they do that they made this match work, because the directions they had just, and like I said, I don't know who booked it, but it was terrible booking. I don't ex- I expect no less from WWE, unfortunately. And
Who
they
are the
tried to bury
bookers?
this in the middle of the card.
Who are the bookers right now? Do you know?
There's a bunch of different ones. There's probably, I think, 6 to 8 per show. And sometimes they identify with certain feuds. Sometimes you're just like, hey, can you get the back third of this one? Or They divide it up
Okay.
different ways. Most of the time, they're called road agents, but most of the time you'll get a
Oh,
road
I know
agent.
because I remember Arn Anderson used to be a booker.
Yeah,
Terry Taylor was a booker. I'm just wondering who's booking now. Because I'd want to
it's
see who, based off of their matches back in the day, I'd want to see who I think did this one.
like Triple H is over everybody. He's like the store manager, and every department manager is like these road agents that work with the people hands on. And a lot of times it's Michael Hayes and people like that. But this, I doubt this was Michael Hayes because this
If it
had
was, he
nothing
needs
from him
to,
on it.
yeah. So what do we have next? Because I'm trying to run
Um,
through my head.
yeah, this was. We're going to run through these next two matches really quickly because I want time for the main event because there was a ton. Um, this was the third match that we said that was you might as well put a bet on it. There was no way that anything else was going to happen. Logan Paul gets the win over KO and RKO. It did exactly how you said it was, where one's going to lay one out, he's going to knock the other one out of the way, and actually he won legit. He didn't underhanded so much, but Logan to be a part timer, he very much has earned his spot. And we knew he was going to win. KO is a
Yeah,
throwaway nowadays, and Randy Orton is just here so he don't get fined.
yeah, yeah. He's I kind of feel like they tried to make it look like they tried to make you think that KO was going to win it with that pre-match stuff that happened with Sami Zayn on night one. They, I feel like I already knew Sammy was going to beat Gunther, but when the little thing with his wife and then the little thing with this everybody leading up, I'm like, come on, guys, can you make it any more obvious? And the way they did it with KO was so obvious that he wasn't going to win. I'm like, you
Mhm.
guys, can we please get better writers?
And by the way,
Um,
his wife was at WrestleMania. KO's wife was. I follow her on Instagram. She actually has a lot of cool photos of them doing stuff. That's part of why she's a good follow. But I don't know if any of his kids were there because he has a couple.
yeah,
Because he
one of them's
talks
named
about how they're
Owen.
John Cena fans, and it makes him sick that they're John Cena fans. But it's just him playing it up.
Yeah,
But it just Sammy was the better story, and
yeah.
KO is
This
the
one
guy that you can count on when you need somebody, but he doesn't need a belt.
and Randy's here to just help talent get better.
Yeah, pretty much. But this was a solid match. Just not a whole lot
Very
of
predictable.
frills with
Very
it.
predictable. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there was some good spots from everybody. I like. I will have to say, KO coming out in the golf cart, the landscaping golf cart was very much Tony Hawk Pro Skater, a throwback. I thought it was hilarious. And then to go to back all the way up the ramp, almost hit Randy Orton, and then say get in, and he rode all the way down through there. Now that was funny. That was probably the best part of the match.
Yeah, I feel like he did that because, what's his name?
Logan Paul
Logan
come out with the
had
monster
his,
truck.
yeah, and he's like, if he gets a ride down there, then we do too. Yeah,
Like I said, it
I
was very
liked it.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which was a lot of my high school and college years. So I enjoyed the golf cart.
Yeah.
Um, More surprising in this next match that Lashley and the Street Profits beat the Final Testament, Cross, and AOP, or more surprising that Lashley and the Street Profits are known as the Pride.
Neither one of those was surprising. I
I
think
didn't
I
know they had a
mentioned,
name, and then they come out and they said the Pride, and I was like, I like it. It's very like like Lion King like, and Lashley is he's very much the king on the Rock.
well, I mean, you got to give him a name because I feel like they're not splitting up. This is not, I think they
No,
gave him a name because
I
you,
think they're
you
getting
don't
another member.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think is MVP coming back? Is MVP one of the
No,
bookers? You don't think so? So,
I think he does something with the company, but I don't think it's that.
but I feel, I wonder if Wesley or Trick, is coming up. But
Heck,
anyway,
maybe not Wesley. Wesley's in another company. Or no, Wesley's still down there. That's right. But no, I think it's either Trick or Mello. I think are going to be the next member.
Carmel, yeah, okay. But I feel like to make the audience know that this isn't just a group that was put together with no name. They had to give them a group name to make them more legit. But I think I picked Lashley and them to win. I figured they would
You did.
because um, I, they had to win to end the feud. Is the feud still going? Because I feel like needed to be
No,
ended.
no, because on NXT this week, the Final Testament Cross and AOP went down and attacked people in NXT. So I think they're going to do that for a minute.
Okay, good, because it needed to be ended. This was a good ending to it, and it's time for. Does that mean Bobby and them is going to turn bad, going to turn heel, or are they going to stay face?
If they're at, it's like this. If they're adding Mello, they're going heel. If they're adding Trick, who is by far off the charts popular right now, at least in the NXT ranks, I think Raw SmackDown's gonna that crowd's gonna like him too. But if you add Trick to that group, then you got to stay face because everybody loves that guy.
Is this going to be the Raw version of Bloodline almost, where you can have somebody that's capable of being a champion, somebody that's capable of being the second title holder, and then you got the tag team guys?
That's
You
the
know,
that's this that's how you put that together. You have your world title guy in Flair, you
yep,
have your tag team, and you have your muscle or your secondary title guy, and
yeah,
that's how you put that's how you put a 4 pack together.
that's right, and that's what I'm looking at with this one. Okay, um,
Hmm.
it was the kind of match it was supposed to be. I was
Yeah,
surprised, did not know that Bubba was going to be the special guest referee.
that was interesting. I didn't know that at all, and in fact, I know a former Atlanta radio guy who's out on the West Coast now, who's almost best friends with him, and he didn't know about it. It was that big of a secret where he was like, "Hey, you flip it on? There's friggin' Bubba. Look at that."
And I love that they did the what's up? They did that a couple times, I think.
Yeah,
Um, Paid homage to the Dudleys. Devon was there for Paul getting his Hall of Fame ring.
yep.
It was it was the match that you expected it to be. It was just
Yeah,
I feel like it
it
was a
was
filler
actually good.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
it
filler
was.
match.
This was buried just like the Mysterio
Yes, it
versus
was
Dom.
that version.
They very much looked at it like we don't give two craps what happens here. If it's good, then that's fantastic. If it's kind of blah, then you know what? The main event's coming.
What happened to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Did that not happen?
Pre-show.
Who won?
Um big South African guy.
Omos?
Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed.
Oh, Bronson Reed
Who
did.
is a guy? Pay attention to him in the next calendar year. He's going to really make a big, lack of a better way to say it. He's going to make a big impact because that guy
What
can
if you
talk.
think
He's a big force. I mean, he can wrestle.
the people that have won that have gotten pushes? Baron Corbin, before he got
Hmm.
buried like he is now, he got a big push when he won it.
Hmm.
Um, Big Show was already the Big Show when he won it. Braun Strowman, I feel like,
It's a good leg up. It's like
yes.
winning the King of the Ring tournament. It's a good boost to say we really believe in you.
So are we at the main event?
We are, which is good because we're like at the 9 minute mark. So
Gotcha.
Roman
That
Reigns
works out.
defends his title against Cody Rhodes. Spoiler alert, we already said Cody won, but just like people ask me all the time, why do you watch something if you already pretty much know the ending? I was like,
You want to see how
real
it's going to get
quickly,
there.
here locally, we have Six Flags. If you go to Monster Plantation, I think it's Monster House now, Monster Plantation, you're standing on one platform. You know, if you get in the boat, you get to go through the house and then you end up on the other platform. You know where you start and where you end, but you have no idea the adventure you're getting into. And that is why we like wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People, uh, I'm going to say this. I hate when people say it's fake. I think I might have said this
Yeah.
before.
There
People
is
try to
nothing
hit.
fake about it. I promise you.
Well, it's not even that. My argument is when they try to say fake, I'm like, it's not fake. It's predetermined. Understand,
And
it's
not all of
realer
it,
than.
just parts of it.
And I'm like, it's realer than the movies that you watch, as those
Oh
are
yeah.
legit fake. But that's just my argument when it comes. I still believe it's real to me. But
Oh yeah. Oh man,
I
Rudy's coming save the day. Rudy's not even a real person, guys. He is, but he didn't do half the things. Why don't you ask Joe Montana, who was on the team when he did them?
yes, legit on the team. Yes, yeah, he's my quarterback. But yeah,
but but just overall takeaway, real quick: Roman versus Cody. We know about all the special people. Of course, all the bloodline people come down, and every time one came out, they were canceled out by somebody else. John Cena come out in Cody's defense. The Undertaker that I did not, that's the one that I about fell off the couch. I just was like, I didn't
I
think I'd
got.
see him back in the ring.
Do you know what happened? Because I do. It was supposed to have been Stone Cold. They couldn't come
Mhm.
to an agreement on the money. I'm
He's so
blowed.
busted. He says himself though that he's so busted up that he just doesn't think he can get back in the ring. And if he can't go back 100%, like do the things he wants to do, he said, "I'm not going to go out there and look like a cripple. So I'm just I'll bow out and I'll chug beers from the third row."
I just feel. I mean, I'm glad they did Undertaker. Because I went through my head because Undertaker and The Rock didn't really have a rivalry when they were in
No, actually they did.
and that's why it bothered me. Okay, if you can't get Stone Cold, I guess you really can't get Triple H because that's the guy
No.
running the show. So I was
Well,
going
and
through my head.
same reason. His health and his heart and everything. No, it
Yeah,
he could legit die in a ring if he gets back in one. So he's out.
but that's what I'm saying. I was trying to go through my head. Who else could it have been? And it was nobody. And the Undertaker's just got it strictly because we have
Kurt
nobody
Angle,
else. Kurt
but
Angle?
Kurt Angle wasn't quite big enough. Like, well, had he, had Brock Lesnar not been in the hot water he's
That
in right now, Brock would have been
he'd have
great
been. Yeah, yeah. Even though
because
even though
he
him
could
and
have
The Rock
flicked off
really
Rock, he
didn't.
could have flicked off Roman and said, "I don't like either one. In fact, I don't like anybody, but I like Cody slightly more than I like either one of you."
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. They did a great job getting us to the other side so we can get off the boat.
Yeah.
Um, I everybody, I feel like let's go ahead and say this. Stephanie has took the, and I'm not talking about Stephanie McMahon. I think her name's Stephanie, the ring announcer late girl.
Um, I
I'm
can't think
thinking
of
her
her
name
name,
is,
but yeah,
and
it's I can't remember. She is Mrs. Ricochet, by the way, if you didn't know that.
did not know that, but she has lucky him. She has took the role of the one of the best ring announcers.
Oh yeah, her
But I
emotion
did
is in it.
but see I didn't like that. That I did not like. I did not like that she got emotional. It's like we knew Cody was going to end this was going to finish his story, dude. We just didn't know how it was going to get there. But I mean, I don't know. I don't like fake emotion. Maybe it wasn't fake with her, but
She didn't. No, she wasn't faking.
okay. I don't know. But it was a
I
good
thought
match.
her
It
name
was
was.
a legit.
It's it's not Layla. It's something. But keep going.
Oh, I thought it was Stephanie. But it was a good match. Like you didn't have one side doing too much. Like there wasn't an AJ Styles um LA Knight one person beating the other one up the entire match. It was
Right.
literally legitimately both ways. And my favorite part was when Roman. Oh, that was night one when Roman speared The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, that was my favorite part of that match. But but it's like it was a good one, man. It was a great match. It deserved the main event, and it,
Oh wow.
what happened?
On
Oh,
SmackDown, I saw one person doing something and Paul Heyman looking like he saw 14 ghosts. Yeah, we'll talk about this off air because we got about 3.5 minutes. But
okay.
Samantha Irvin, because I want her name said Samantha
Samantha.
Irvin.
Samantha. That's it.
Yeah.
I knew it started with an S. She's great. She's
But
great at what she does.
last thoughts on Roman versus Cody and where Cody goes from here.
Good match. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad. I hope they kill this storyline and they're done. I don't want them two seeing each other no more.
But from the looks
Yeah.
of it, Roman's going to be away for a minute.
I'm glad to hear that.
He
He
needs
needs
it.
to yeah, he needs to take some time off because that way when he comes back, he can go back to being. I think he'll be a face when he comes back.
Well, he carried the WWE for the last 4 years. Like other
Yeah,
people did a lot of big stuff, but Roman Reigns had the whole company on his back for 4 years.
and I think it's time to have him. I don't. Do I want him as a face? He's such a good bad guy,
He's so good.
and he's through Paul Heyman, he's developed a mouth.
Yeah.
So
Man, I'm glad I'm
Um,
DVRing what I'm watching. I might tape it and send you the video because
it's pretty
I
good.
did not see this coming, but you're gonna like it based off what we've said in the last two nights. You're gonna like what happened to a person that you didn't particularly care for their match, and
Okay,
well, huh?
that's
It
okay.
involves the bloodline. It involves the bloodline, and like I said, Paul Heyman looks like he either is gonna crap himself or he just saw all 13 ghosts from the movie,
That's a good movie, 13 Ghosts.
and it's a debut by the way too. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, it's the debut of the one that I thought was going to show up at WrestleMania, and he did not. But I like the guy.
Okay.
But real quickly, we got a minute and a half. Do your bronze, silver, and gold medal performances.
Bronze goes to the entire tag team. Once again, I was a big fan of it.
Okay.
The entire tag match of Mysterio group. Silver, LA Knight beating up AJ Styles. I'm an LA Knight fan. And the gold for performance, you go ahead. I'm gonna think on my gold. You go ahead with yours.
I say bronze. Bronze. I'm going Cody Rhodes. I thought it was great, but I just enjoyed the next two so much more. Um, my silver. God, this is hard. You know what? I'm gonna stick to what I thought the whole way. My silver is Roman Reigns, and he would normally be the gold because of as good as he is. But my gold medal goes to the to Mommy, who by far set the bar so high that I don't think anybody else reached it. I think Rhea Ripley by far was the best performance of the entire weekend.
I was literally thinking that Rhea Ripley, but I'm gonna do a slash and I'm gonna put
Mhm.
R-Truth under it. Putting R-Truth under it
Yep.
because he got that.
I go with
Got to
that.
give it to him. All right,
Well, that's going to do it for night two. Me and the
night
partner are
two.
going to tag out. We'll stick to
We'll
us
catch the
here in the
next
future. We'll see what else we're going to talk about here in the next future. But for my tag partner
preview.
Daniel Snyder, I am Jeremy York. We will see you guys later. Deuces, gooses.
Catch us on the preview of the next pay per view.